Hey guys, it's Mike with Grayman Knives. I know that some of you have wanted to have a little bit better look at mega pounders and see what they look like in relationship to each other. So these are basically the three different sizes. There's the Mega Pounder 9, of course has a 9-inch blade, Mega Pounder 7.5 with a 7.5-inch blade, and the Mega Pounder 6, and I think you can probably guess how long its blade is. All of them come with 1095 steel, a 1/4 inch thick, so they're nice and sturdy, and they all come with our standard handle for nearly all of our larger knives, which is this one. Some people have asked me about why do I have an index groove in here? You know, do I like finger grooves? Why do I have only one? That kind of thing. The way that I originally designed the handles for this was that I would C-clamp a billet, a blank basically, of one of the knives up on the rafters of my shop, and then I would squirt oil on my hand, basically just grab onto my hand and see if I could pull myself up, and if it could support my body weight with my grip on the knife handle, then I figured that that would be kind of the gold standard of a handle that I could be sure that would give you that maximum retention that you might need in the worst of all times, when your hands might be wet with sweat or slick with blood or grease or who knows what. So this particular handle style is the one that had far and away the best grip, best retention, and so that's what I've stuck with, is giving you something that I hope will give you the best possible grip whenever you need it the most. And let's see what else. Another feature of these, of course, all of the Mega Pounders have a choil, a good sized one, so that your finger can fit into it and so that you can really choke up on the blade. Of course, if you're doing a lot of chopping, you're going to be using the furthest part of the edge here, but if you're doing a lot of pushing through hard media, if you're cutting through hardwood, that kind of thing, then you really are going to want to have as much of your force directly over the cutting edge as possible, or as close to it, just so your cutting will be that much more efficient. So that's the idea behind that. Some people have asked me why the notch here, if it's just a stylistic thing or if there's a reason for it. And the reason that I have that notch there is to better facilitate your being able to tie 550 cord or monkey twine or whatever it might be to it. So if you're trying to make a makeshift spear, or if you're trying to make a retention lanyard like this one right here, you'll be able to do so. You're probably already aware of this, but if you the general consensus, at least amongst competitive choppers nowadays, is that if you have a lanyard that's attached at a rear point, basically it protects everyone that's around you, but not you so much. Whereas if you have a retention lanyard that's up in the forward area here, then if the knife gets away from you, it is close at hand and doesn't have a tendency to swing around and end up being your own worst enemy. So that's the logic behind that. And as far as other options that you can have for these knives, of course, with any of the Mega Pounders, we can make it into a buoy for you if you like a clip point. So here's an example right here. Also, we have the Mega Pounder 7.5 and the Mega Pounder 9 are both available with saw teeth. So if you want them, just let us know. Of course, they're two different handle colors. I don't know how important that might be to you. But there are the options there. Essentially, the reasoning behind this, if sometimes people ask us, well, you know, do I need saw teeth? And if you're asking, you probably don't. One of the things that you may be using this knife for, because this is one of the things it was really designed for, is processing wood. So if you're doing a lot of batoning, for instance, of course, if you're hitting against this area using a wooden baton, which I hope you always would, you know, not a rock or hammer or anything else, then that's going to beat up your baton real fast. Of course, you've got this area out front right here. If you're using a buoy, of course, like a 7.5 buoy, then you really don't have any area here that's free and clear, except maybe where your thumb goes, to baton with it very effectively. So if you don't have a specific need for those teeth, just go ahead and get the regular spine with a smooth back. Also, some of you guys use a ferro rod to start fires, for sparking. If you want to maintain a 90-degree angle here on the edges, just to make it that much easier, it'll still work no matter what, the ferro rod will. But if you just want to make it that much easier, just let me know. All you have to do is send me an email with your name and telling me about your knife order, and I'll do that for you. One of the things a lot of people don't realize is that most of the time when you're ordering a knife, I usually am grinding it for you. Sometimes I have them already in stock, especially if I'm going to be away for any reason. But otherwise, I just go ahead and I have the blanks, the billets, all set and ready, and they're heat treated, and then I cool grind it when you actually make the order. So, if your name is Joe and you order a knife on Tuesday, I'm grinding your knife, Joe's knife, on Thursday and getting it ready for you to go out on Friday, or whatever the dates or times may be. But typically we can get a knife turned around for you and out the door within 5 working days. And if you're curious as to how the blank looks before we blacken it, this is what it looks like here. Obviously, of course, this one's already ground, but I haven't bull-nosed it yet, which is just to take the sharp edges here and essentially dull all of those out so that it's comfortable for you. One of the things that I want to make sure that you have is a knife and a knife handle that's comfortable for you, even if you lose your slabs. If for whatever reason you might have taken them off and can't get them back on again, you can still use the knife. Obviously, it won't be quite as comfortable, for doing a lot of wood processing and that sort of thing, but it'll still be very, very functional for you. So at any rate, if getting back to the ferro rod, if you want to have this area essentially, left nice and sharp, just let me know, and we could do like I did with this one right here, where we just blend it along the spine and then leave the last portion here sharp for you for ferro rods. And if you're curious as to how they look in comparison, how the Mega Pounders look in comparison to the ground pounder, this is the ground pounder here, and that'll just give you a little feel with a silhouette over it. And also remember that we have Grayman sawtooths and duas. They're available right now. So if you want to get one in time for Christmas, just give us a holler and we'll make sure and put one aside for you. I guess that's it for now, guys. So take care, and we'll talk to you the next time. Bye for now.